The Brahman woman bowed to the Buddha and returned home. The memory of her mother sustained her as she sat upright, recollecting enlightenment flower samadhi, self-mastery king, thus come one. After doing so for a day and night, she suddenly saw herself beside a sea whose waters seethed and bubbled. Many evil beasts with iron bodies flew swiftly back and forth above the sea. She saw hundreds of thousands of men and women bobbing up and down in the sea, being fought over, seized, and eaten by the evil beasts. She saw yakshas with different shapes. Some had many hands, some many eyes, some many legs, some many heads. With their sharp fangs, they drove the offenders on towards the evil beasts. Or the yakshas themselves seized the offenders and twisted their heads and feet together into shapes so horrible that no one would dare even look at them for long. During that time, the Brahman woman was naturally without fear due to the power of recollecting the Buddha. A ghost king named Poisonless bowed his head in greeting and said to the worthy woman, "Welcome, O Bodhisattva. What conditions bring you here?" The Brahman woman asked the ghost king, "What is this place?" Poisonless replied, "We are on the western side of the great iron ring mountain, and this is the first of the seas that encircle it." The worthy woman said, "I have heard that the hells are within the iron ring. Is that actually so?" Poisonless answered, "Yes, the hells are here." The worthy woman asked, "How have I now come to the hells?" Poisonless answered, "If it wasn't awesome spiritual strength that brought you here, then it was the power of karma. Those are the only two ways anyone comes here." The worthy woman asked, "Why is this water seething and bubbling, and why are there so many offenders and evil beasts?" Poisonless replied, "These are beings of Jambu Vipa who did evil deeds. They have just died and passed through 49 days without any surviving relatives doing any meritorious deeds on their behalf to rescue them from their distress. Besides that, during their lives, they themselves didn't plant any good causes. Now their own karma calls forth these hells. Their first task is to cross the sea. 10,000 yojanas east of this sea is another sea in which they will undergo twice as much suffering. East of that sea is yet another sea where the sufferings are doubled still again. What the combined evil causes of the three karmic vehicles evoke is called the Sea of Karma. This is that place." The worthy woman asked the ghost king Poisonless, "Where are the hells?" Poisonless answered, "Within the three seas are hundreds of thousands of great hells, each one different. 18 of those are known as the great hells. 500 subsequent ones inflict limitless cruel sufferings." Following those are hundreds of thousands that inflict limitless further sufferings. The worthy woman again questioned the great Ghost King. My mother died recently, and I do not know where she has gone. The Ghost King asked the worthy woman, when the Bodhisattva's mother was alive, what habits did she have? The worthy woman replied, my mother held deviant views and ridiculed and slandered the Triple Jewel. Even if she occasionally believed, she would soon become disrespectful again. She died recently, and I still do not know where she was reborn. Poisonless asked, what was the Bodhisattva's mother's name and clan? The worthy woman replied, my parents were both Brahmins. My father's name was Shila Sudarshana. My mother's name was U.D. Lee. Poisonless placed his palms together and implored the worthy woman, please, worthy one, quickly return home. There is no need for you to grieve further. The offender, U.D. Lee, was born in the heavens 3 days ago. It is said that she received the benefits of offerings made and blessings cultivated by her filial child who practiced giving to enlightenment flower samadhi self-mastery king, thus come one, at stupas and monasteries. Not only was the Bodhisattva's mother released from the hells, all the other offenders who were destined for the relentless hell received bliss and were reborn together with her. Having finished speaking, the Ghost King put his palms together and withdrew. The Brahman woman returned swiftly, as if from a dream, understood what had happened, and then made a profound and far-reaching vow before the stupas and images of enlightenment flower samadhi self-mastery king, thus come one, saying, I vow that until the end of future eons, I will respond to beings suffering for their offenses by using many expedient means to bring about their liberation. The Buddha told Manjushri, the Ghost King Poisonless is the present Bodhisattva foremost wealth. The Brahman woman is now Earth Store Bodhisattva. Chapter 2. The Division Bodies Gather. At that time, the division bodies of Earth Store Bodhisattva began gathering in the palace of the Trayastrimsa heaven from billions of inexpressible, unutterable, immeasurable, ineffable, limitless asamkhayas of worlds. They came from wherever hells were found. Due to the spiritual powers of the Thus Come One, each came from his own direction and was joined by billions of Nayutas, of those who had obtained liberation from the force of bad karma. All came holding incense and flowers as offerings to the Buddha.